Good evening. Here is the news on STM Radio Vision, Elisha. First, the headlines. Army trains troops for counter-terrorism, insurgency herbs.
Music Studio.
Governor Delegate orders APC officials to vacate Osun LG Secretariat. African players in Europe, Mbeumo strikes as United stone Arsenal. Israel says it has retrieved remains of final Gaza hostage. Now the news in full. I am Chidima Abel. The Nigerian Army Training Center has unveiled troops for exercise Fast Bolt 4 double stream at the Kontagora Military Cantonment Parade Ground. The program, which began on January 19 and will run until May 8, 2026, aims to enhance troops' operational capacity to confront evolving security threats across the country. According to a post by the Assistant Director, Army Public Relations, NATRAC, Major Godfrey Abakpa, on the Nigerian Army's X-handle on Monday, the commander of NATRAC, Major General A.G.L. Haruna, said the inauguration reaffirmed the center's mandate to train Nigerian Army personnel to effectively tackle contemporary challenges such as terrorism and insurgency. He noted that the training will last 15 weeks and 6 days, during which troops will undergo specialized instruction designed to improve their readiness and resilience. He outlined the core focus areas of the exercise, which include battle drills, survival training, convoy drills, marksmanship, base camp security, and counter-ambush tactics. The program will also cover the use of social media, human rights compliance, and the Armed Forces of Nigeria gender policy, among other subjects. The commander urged instructors to uphold high standards of professionalism and ethical conduct while delivering training, and thanked the Chief of Army Staff for his continued support and guidance. Haruna also acknowledged the effort of his principal staff officers, soldiers, and administrative personnel, urging them to give their best to ensure the success of the program. The inauguration ceremony concluded with 3 hearty cheers and group photographs with the trainees. Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke has directed former All Progressives Congress APC local government chairmen and councillors to immediately vacate all local government secretariats across the state, declaring their continued stay illegal and a clear disregard for court rulings. In a statewide broadcast on Monday, the governor said the officials no longer have any legal authority to occupy the offices, having been removed through valid judicial processes. He recalled that the Federal High Court, sitting in Osogbo, nullified the APC conducted local government elections in November 2022, a decision that was subsequently upheld by the Court of Appeal on February 10 and reaffirmed on June 13, 2025. Governor Adeleke explained that, in compliance with court orders, the Osun State Independent Electoral Commission, OSEC, conducted fresh local government elections on February 22, 2025. According to him, the newly elected chairman and councillors were duly sworn in the following day and remain the only legitimate occupants of local government offices in the state. The Osun governor also called on residents of the state to remain calm, assuring them that his administration would uphold court judgment, restore legality at the grassroots, and safeguard the citizens. And now on the sports scene, Arsenal Manchester United striker Brian Mbeumo and Bournemouth midfielder Amin Adli were among 8 African scores in the Premier League at the weekend. Cameroon international Mbeumo claimed the first United goal in a dramatic 3-2 victory at leaders Arsenal. Moroccan Adli netted the winning goal deep in at that time, and Bournemouth snatched a 3-2 victory at home to Liverpool. Mbeumo struck for the second time in 2 games since his return from the Africa Cup of Nations as United stoned Arsenal. He kept his cool to pounce on an error from Martin Zubimedi, round David Raya, and slotting his 9th goal since joining the Red Devils. Adli, who was left out of Morocco's AFCON squad, scored with virtually the last kick of the game to give Bournemouth a dramatic win over Liverpool. The former Bayer Leverkusen winger persisted to fire home from a narrow angle at the second attempt for just his second Bournemouth goal. And now on the foreign scene, The Israel military says it has retrieved the body of the last hostage in Gaza, paving the way for the next phase of U.S. President Donald Trump's peace plan to get underway. It had been searching for Master Sergeant Ran Givili since the ceasefire with Hamas began in October. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called Givili's return an extraordinary achievement. The Israeli military began a new operation to find Givili on Sunday. Earlier, Hamas and the wing said it had provided mediators with all the details and information about Givili's location. Netanyahu's office said Israel will reopen Gaza's key border crossing with Egypt once the operation to find and return Givili was complete. The Israeli military said the clarification of existing intelligence over the weekend had enabled the search of a cemetery near Gaza City. Hamas spokesman Hazim Kazim said the discovery of the body confirms Hamas' commitment to all the requirements of the ceasefire agreement. The retrieval of Givili adds fresh impetus to Trump's plan to end the war in Gaza. Israel had resisted moving forward until Givili was returned. Phase 2 is meant to involve the reconstruction and full demilitarization of Gaza, including the disarmament of Hamas and other Palestinian groups. The plan is also meant to see the deployment of an as-yet unconstituted International Stabilization Force, ISF, and the progressive withdrawal of Israeli forces from Gaza. Hamas was meant to return all hostages alive and dead within 72 hours of the ceasefire taking effect. 20 living Israeli hostages and the bodies of 27 dead Israeli and foreign hostages were handed over, leaving only Givili missing. The policeman was one of 251 hostages taken in the Hamas-led attack on Israel on 7 October 2023, in which about 1,200 people were killed. Most of the hostages were released alive over the course of the next 2 years in exchange for 250 Palestinian prisoners and 1,718 detainees from Gaza. Israel's military campaign in Gaza, launched in response to the attack, has killed 71,660 Palestinians, the Hamas-run health ministry has said. And now to end the news, here is a recap of our stories. We thought that the Nigerian Army Training Center has unveiled troops for exercise Fast Boat 4 at the Kontagora Military Cantonment Parade Ground. We also told you that Osun State Governor Demola Adeleke has directed former All Progressives Congress local government chairman and councillors to immediately vacate all local government secretariats across the state. Arsenal Manchester United striker Brian Mbeumo and Bournemouth midfielder Amin Adli were among 8 African scorers in the Premier League over the weekend. Lastly, we thought that the Israeli military says it has retrieved the body of the last hostage in Gaza, paving the way for the next phase of U.S. President Donald Trump's peace plan to get underway. That ends the news on Esteem Radio Vision, Elisha, Osun State, Nigeria. The news was edited by Onwayo Ajiboye and was brought to you by Chidima Abel. For sponsorship and advert placement, please contact us on 0916-634-9956. You can also follow us on our social media handles, on Facebook at Esteem Radio Vision, on YouTube at Esteem Studio. Thanks for listening. Good evening.